Hello guys, this is Module 14, Case Study. It's for EDL 852. My name is Justin Bearley. Here's the standard that we're covering. It's the NELP Standard 1 and Component 1.1. Summary is the Lightville Community School District has two buildings, elementary K through 6, middle school 7 through 12. It's a rural school district. It's had 2% growth, steady for probably 10 or about 10 to 15 years. It's located within 10 miles of a major city. There has been a recent occurrence is that there is an influx on new families that have moved into the community. Most with school-age children. This has changed the social and political environment. The school board, 2 of the 5 are relatively new residents with children enrolled in the district. These 2 promoted the idea of building a new middle school to alleviate space problems at the 2 existing schools. The new middle school, Superintendent Joe Rawlings hired an architectural firm to study the inadequate space problems. Study found that needed more space. More space is needed and they decided a new middle school, 6 through 8, was in order. The idea of building a separate middle school quickly became controversial in the community. The board voted 5-2, passed. And then it went to the stakeholders, community. They passed it by 53% to 47%. They decided to hire a principal. They formed a committee of 10 members, 4 teachers, 4 parents, and then the elementary and the high school principal as well. Miss Susan Potter was hired as the new principal. She was hired 12 months before the completion of the new school building. Tasks to complete were staff decisions, organizing programs, collaborate with architects and construction workers. Advisory committee was created by Principal Potter and the help of the Superintendent Rawlings. They called themselves the Vision and Planning Committee. This included 4 teachers and 4 parents. The chair, Helen Burke, English and Social Studies teacher. Each member would have a vote in making decisions. They would develop a vision statement providing parameters for planning program scope and implementation. Will reflect the collective values and beliefs of community members and hopefully of the community at large. All will be given an opportunity to suggest elements of the vision and to react to elements proposed by others. Meeting with the chair before an actual advisory meeting, Mrs. Burke, the chair, and Principal Potter. Mrs. Burke stated that you should design our school philosophy and draft our mission and vision statements. This community relies on administrators to make important decisions. We are comfortable having you shape these documents. Principal Potter's response: a vision statement should reflect the collective thinking of stakeholders. First advisory meeting. First, Mrs. Burke spoke about these concerns. Secondly, Dan Kelby, a physical education teacher, spoke. He said that he had several thoughts about the new school, and we may end up arguing endlessly. 2 other parent members agreed with him. Mrs. Burke made a motion to formalize that Principal Potter creates a statement. This passed 7-1. Principal Potter thought about what she could and should do before the next week's committee meeting. Synthesize. The advisory board has voted to have Principal Potter, the leader of the new school, to draft and present the school philosophy for approval without input from the committee, even though it is against her preference. Synthesize the facts. We have teachers, the place unknown. I assume they're from the local area, so I'm going to say probably rural. It is a middle school, K through 8, 6 through 8, I'm sorry. We also have students. We know that 60% live on farms. I assume that the urban number is going to increase as more people move out. Parents, we have a mix of urban and rural. Administrators, the new administrator is urban. The new middle school, Mrs. Potter, is urban. The rest, I assume, are rural. So we have elementary, middle, and high school principals, and we have the superintendent. Things that we do not know or unknown are the customs, the norms, personalities, race, gender, or sources of power. Review and prioritize. Could the results cause damage? Yes, I believe that the results of a decision could cause damage to both stakeholders and the community. This philosophy needs to reflect on what and whom the community is, not what the principal believes it should be. Who will this affect? It'll affect all stakeholders, community, students, parents, teachers, and administrators. Stakeholders have been consulted? No, not to my knowledge. I believe the superintendent, principals, community, and staff should all be consulted. Can I learn more about this situation? Yes. I need to learn about the customs of the community, race, the norms, personalities, sources of political power. The bottom line, I do not know enough about the community, students, and stakeholders to make a decision on what the school's philosophy should be, period. Options and consequences. First option is to educate the advisory members about how important the philosophy statement is. Ask to rescind the vote. If unsuccessful, pull the advisory committee about what they believe the purpose of education is to them and their stakeholders. Consequences, members might feel like they are not being listened to. Pulling will help educate me as the principal on community and stakeholders. The second option would be to create the philosophy myself, then have the advisory committee discuss and make changes to it. If I create the school philosophy, it could cause you to miss what the stakeholders, community, and students believe that are important. Third option, visit with other administrators about the situation and ask for their input. Also poll community members about what they believe the purpose of education is to them. Consequences here, advisory and administrator members may think you are incompetent, but you're going to gain knowledge from the administration and the community members on what they think the purpose of education is to their community. Evaluate options. Option number 1, possible resyndication of the vote, results from the poll needed from the advisory. The cons are probably no reconciliation, no advisory input, little stakeholder input, upset members. Hopeful results are that the vote is overturned, some advisory input, and some community input. The second option is a happy advisory members. Little advisory input is the con, no community input. Advisory only reviews my mission statement that I created. The hopeful results, by reviewing mission statement, the advisory could have some valuable input. Third option, gain knowledge from local administrators, gain information from community members, learn about stakeholders and the community. Cons, I don't see any here. Hopeful results, valuable input from a variety of stakeholders, completion of the mission statement from this information gain. Best option. I believe my best option is number 3. However, this was not what I had planned on. Considering the circumstances, this is the best choice for this situation. This choice does not put unwanted pressure between the advisory team and the principal. The first step is communicate with other current administrators about the situation. I believe it is important to allow the stakeholders to give advice and input to a new administrator. The second step is to poll or survey community members about what they believe the purpose of education is to them and their community. I believe this is the best way to gain useful knowledge about the community in a short amount of time. By consulting with administrators and the community, I believe this allows all stakeholders will have input into the new philosophy statement. Implementing the decision. Step 1 is to communicate with the other current administrators to gain input. Step 2 is to communicate with the advisory on intent to survey community. Step 3 is create poll questions with input from the advisory and administration. Step 4 is communicate to stakeholders in a variety of different ways on what the poll is for and when it needs to be completed. Step 5 is to poll and survey community members in a variety of different ways, such as mailings, in person, and online survey. Step number 6, collect and review data for surveys. Create a philosophy from this data. Needs to be approved by the advisory first and then the Board of Education. Plan B, if this doesn't work, is to collect data at a town hall meeting instead of surveying community members.